There's nothing really wrong with mental conditioning. What becomes wrong is when you allow the mental conditioning to run your experience of life. For example, an extreme example, I was sitting at the grocery store in the car, getting ready, do what I need to do, and I hear yelling. So begin to look around, see where the yelling's coming from, if it's coming from the area I need to walk to. And I remember hearing one of the things that he yelled is, "I hate other humans. I can't wait till I die." Yelling it out loud, very loud for everyone to hear, saying it multiple times. Enjoying your experience of life instead of wanting to end it plays a big part in awareness of mental conditioning. Hello there. Thank you for joining me here. I always appreciate your presence. There was an interesting topic I thought I'd share with you. It's a question from another viewer here. And they asked, what is mental conditioning? Mental conditioning awareness is what they asked about ultimately. Where does the mental conditioning come from? And ultimately, how to be aware of it. Mental conditioning is ultimately the thoughts that you have been passed, let's say, from previous generations, other human beings, parents, friends, colleagues, however, the mental condition happened, it's ultimately from the past. So that's why it's so easy to go beyond it. It's not the present. It's not now. And of course, you can use mental conditioning to do things. I'm using it now to make the video with you. There's nothing really wrong with mental conditioning. What becomes wrong is when you allow the mental conditioning to run your experience of life. For example, an extreme example, I was sitting at the grocery store in the car, getting ready, do what I needed to do, and I hear yelling. Middle of the day, maybe 10, 11 a.m. So begin to look around, see where the yelling's coming from, if it's coming from the area I need to walk to. That's using mental conditioning as well, but okay, let's see. But you use it to not be used by it. But let's get back to, so I hear yelling, screaming, cursing. So, of course, I want to be aware of where it's coming from. It's not right where I'm walking into. So I see a man across the street. I don't know what happened, but something triggered his mental conditioning. And there was no awareness that it's just mental conditioning. And there's thoughts that I don't need to give energy to. so to speak, because if, say, you have a negative thought, you give energy to it, it becomes a bigger negative thought, so on. So very little awareness. He was still walking, so there was some awareness of what he was doing, but very little mental conditioning awareness. And yelling, and ultimately the mental conditioning completely took over. Not that it hadn't already taken over. And I remember hearing one of the things that he yelled is, "I hate other humans. I can't wait till I die." Yelling it out loud, very loud for everyone to hear, saying it multiple times. So, in that extreme example, there's no awareness of the mental conditioning. Otherwise, you would realize it's mental conditioning. I don't have to feed that energy. I can be aware of the mental conditioning and not suffer my experience of life and be ready to die. Now, for me, it's a little saddening to hear ultimately another form of myself being in such misery and not even realizing that this beauty is here for us to experience and enjoy, regardless of how other people's mental conditioning has told them that's how we should do it. Work and so on, and this and work and do this and that. That's their mental conditioning, which they haven't become aware of. All these people who are running things, and so they think that that's what we should be doing. Okay, that's another topic, but enjoying your experience of life instead of wanting to end it plays a big part in awareness of mental conditioning. Some people haven't even heard of it. Awareness of mental conditioning? What is that? The thoughts that were passed to you from other generations, other people, other thought processes that they had and passed to you. Awareness of that is there's a deep ability or a deep chance, for lack of better terms, chance for transformation to happen in throughout your consciousness, throughout your mind. Without that, you heard what I said, and that's not all the time. I'm sure maybe you or someone else have seen where people are just yelling and going crazy, or even when you see an accident, you see the interaction with the people. It's the mental conditioning pulling them along. They're not using that deep intelligence that the mind offers, which is being aware. So you can use the mental conditioning, or you can be used by the mental conditioning. Using the mental conditioning usually means that you're aware that it's mental conditioning, and you probably do a lot of wise things, say a lot of wise things. Other than being ran by the mental conditioning, you probably realize that there's some things that you shouldn't have said. There's some things that you could have handled differently, and that's because losing that awareness of the mental conditioning can result in a certain kind of behavior because you're being used by your mind. You're not aware of it. Thank you.